So what we're going to attempt, this is the aftermarket bar that goes onto the wiper motor. And we made some plastic, like using this material that we have, and we melted it and created round washers around it so the arms of the wiper arm can go over it. However, the thickness of this is too thick. So we're going to use a fuel line that has a little thinner plastic and see if that will work. Alright, so I'm going to use a heat gun and I'm going to heat this unit up a little bit. It's the old fuel line with the plastic. I decided not to use the torch this way. It doesn't melt too much. And basically, I'm going to try to see if this works. We just want to expand it a little bit. Try not to burn yourself when you're doing that. So, the reason I'm doing this is so I can get this to go around. So, pause. And use that as a tool to see if I can expand this part. When you have to improvise, this is what you have to do. And that's why a mechanic has extra inventory laying around for that purpose only. Because you never know what you're going to use it for. You know, these parts are not easy to find. So this is what we're going to do. Now, we're going to try to give it a bigger fixture that goes around. Okay, and now we gotta let this dry. And then we're gonna try to make it bigger some more. So we're gonna use this. You don't wanna make it red hot. And just make it bigger. It's gonna stay nice and malleable, then you can come over here. And then you got it on there. And what you do is basically take that part off. And you can adjust it afterwards. And this has a little more, and then you gotta get it to where the clip is gonna go on. So. And then this way, I can put the circlip here and that rod will go over this plastic. And then we're going to do the same thing with this. And I'm just going to make sure that the circlip has space to go in here. Because the shaft is going to go over this. Hopefully, it's thin enough, but gives it the space it needs. And when this shrinks, it's actually going to bond to this. And see how it works. So what we're doing is this piece right here. With that, making that plastic, it fits right in there, and it's perfect. It doesn't have any play in there. And with this aftermarket wiper motor, this way would allow it to turn the wiper blades consistently without having too much play where it's just bouncing back and forth. So that's the reason why I did this. So what I'll probably end up doing is adding another the circle that I made, make a bigger one to where it gives it a nice shim if I need to, or washer put in here when I put the clip, so it'll be a nice tight on both sides, so when the motor is turning, it'll open and close. I'll turn the wipers correctly. Where is my hand at? So anyway, that's where we're at. Okay, somebody is calling. Let me pause it.